everyone, and welcome to Hot Dice, everybody. Thanks for joining us. So,
a cold evening.
Fucking freezing. It's like the front line of the Ukraine in here, with some minor differences, probably. Well, welcome to the full round 5 Escalation League live draw. So we're going to go through as we normally do. We're going to select the mission. We're going to do the fixtures. As we do that, we're going to talk about the lists and some of the challenges with the mission as well. Once we know the mission.
Yeah, only 2 left now. So
yeah, it's all 50-50. So I can actually bring those up just quickly while we think about that. But Ben, is there anything you wanted to say about the last round, or maybe?
No, I suppose a couple of bits. Obviously, we're going into round 5, so we're coming very close now to the well, I suppose it's the penultimate round. We still have 3 unbeaten players. I think for those of you who watched the stream on Friday, Matt's quite heroic escape at the end there against I think every single odd going. Managed to eke out the win. So we do go into this round with 3 winners still, which has kept it certainly very interesting. We will obviously have an impact on the draw in terms of top players dropping into other brackets, so should be be an interesting one.
On the screen now they should be seeing the 2 missions that are available. So Terraform, which is mission 3, and Taking Hold, which is 2 very different maps. So if you look at this, Taking Hold, lots of big super L's on here, big open centre.
I don't like the look of that for your 3 Sagittars and your 3 Land Fortress but then I say whoever's playing you is going to be a bit susceptible to long range shooting. So two interesting. I mean, Take and Hold, Raise the Banners, Tipping Point. There's quite a few lists I've seen that are really heavy on battle line, and there's a few lists that literally have no battle line. So
what's battle line?
I think if we get this mission here, going to be an interesting one.
And obviously the one we don't play this time is definitely the one for round 6. So, and then you look at Terraform. Look at this.
Yeah.
It's I think it's open.
I think what's really interesting with Terraform on this layout is that in theory all 3 of those middle noseman's objectives are reachable turn 1. So if you get to go first and stage onto those 3 objectives and terraform them, you're effectively scoring 6 secondary points each turn. Primary points doing nothing for the rest of the game. So great combination. I think that makes it a really enjoyable open map. Again, especially if you've got battle line and you can advance an action. So straight onto those objectives and terraform.
Let's not keep everyone in suspense, actually, because I'd like to talk about the missions, knowing which one we're going into.
Okay, so I shall do my one and only job. So
1, 2, 3 is going to be
1, 2, 3 is going to be Take and Hold, and 4, 5, 6 is going to be Terraform, and it is a 3. So it's definitely going to be
Take and Hold.
This is the one I was hoping for, given that I'm potentially going into Josh Burns this round. I have no idea who I'm going into, obviously. We haven't done those.
Well, it's only Josh or Matt. Effectively,
basically, I'm guaranteed to go to Matt.
It's one of those pairings. We don't yet know which one it's going to be.
Yeah, so if you look at the table quickly on there, obviously the 3, 4 and O's have got a high chance of going into each other, and then whoever doesn't go into each other is going to go into James's Orcs.
We expect so, yes. So whoever doesn't win out of those 3 will go into one of the 3-1 players.
Okay.
So we need to drop down into a bracket. I say we was expecting at this stage to only have 2 unbeaten players. It's obviously with 3 it keeps it really interesting, because it now means that effectively as we go into round 6, everyone in those top 2 brackets can in theory still win the league, because if the fight, I mean, what we do know is that we're going to have either 2 unbeaten players going into round 6 who will be playing for the league, or we're going to go in with at least one unbeaten player who, if they lose their last game, could fall at the last hurdle.
Well, will they be going for the win of the league though? Because it means. Well, yeah, they would.
If they win, they get the 6 wins. Yes, but if they were to lose in that last game, then in theory, anyone in our current top 10,
could go
could jump and win the league on the last day.
So that's a lot
very
to play
interesting.
for.
Yes,
and we've got a very diverse top 10.
Yeah, we have. A lot of new names in here.
Other than the fact they're all middle-aged white men bowling the race.
Yeah, we
Diverse in lists.
Yes.
we haven't fulfilled our DEI quota for this league yet, but that's something we can work on. But the 3-1 is the one that is lock-in spicy.
Yeah.
If we're looking at this, got James, Ben, Reese, Jordan, Steve, Simon, and just popping in the bottom here, I'd say Fur and Adam as well. So that is, and Mike Dalby as well.
Yeah, looking to
2-1-1.
push into that top 10 again. I think obviously great Reese, new player to the game, new player to the club. He's been performing very solidly. Death Guard doing well in general at the moment.
Yeah.
He's taken 2 rhinos this time, so one of them's definitely dying turn 1. Yeah. He can't hunt both. So we'll see how that goes.
Right, okay. So Josh has definitely rigged it, apparently, according to Steve, so he gets the easy match. Thank you. But actually, Ben is in charge of the pairing, and he would never give me an easy ride. And it's still random, don't forget that. What's this? In before Josh gets babyface Reese, and he cries, okay? Saying here now, if I'm in the top 5, I will shave my beard.
Wow.
Holy
so
shit.
what we do know is that we know that Josh is playing either Josh or Matt. So shall we get that first pairing out the way?
Yeah.
And then we'll see where we lie, because that one's going to be potentially a huge game for the repercussions of the league.
Okay.
Any last questions? Or
I'm scared if Steve wins, because I've seen pictures of him without a beard, and it's terrifying.
It is truly.
I'm just going to bring up the list here because we've got comments on them, so we can comment as we go.
So I'm going to hit the live pairing button now and give that a couple of seconds to generate, and we have the first pairing in. So are we ready, people?
Oh God!
So the first pairing is Josh Townley.
Thank you.
On Astra Militarium into Josh Burns.
No way!
Wow.
Fantastic!
So it is. Arguably, in terms of the table, the top 2 taking each other on around earlier than expected.
Yeah.
Both performing very well, good points differential, scoring well. 2 very strong lists, 2 strong armies, 2 good players. So,
and we're both well practiced for those lists now. I've made a small change to my list. I've taken out the 4th Lehman Russ because I didn't actually own one, so that was a bit of an issue. And when one didn't die, I couldn't bring in from reserve. Put the Rogel Dawn back in there, which actually could help me into Wolves, actually, because it's a lot of low AP but flat damage. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Josh is still running the 2 Ballista Dreads, which is not something you see common in Space Wolves, but he's been playing well with them. They've been effective, and actually he'll probably be quite happy he's got them into a load of tanks.
I agree.
Nice backline unit to put some pressure.
Yeah.
Especially in this big open middle that we've now seen.
Well, yeah, isn't that a thing? I'm glad I got this map into Josh Rand. Anyway, without further ado, I don't want to just talk about myself.
Right. So, into the next. So I will just say as well, Matt's clearly been praying to all the Chaos Gods, because after the miraculous victory, he has also avoided both Joshes.
He has.
I think everyone would have been happy to avoid.
For now.
However, he will be playing James Wright on his own. So not an easy matchup at all. James has dropped, I believe, a squad of killer cans from his list.
Oh, he has?
But he's replaced them with a second Gorkanaut. So,
okay.
Why not?
Interesting. That's the opposite of the advice I gave him.
there is a lot of heavy vehicles in that list. I know, Adam, if you want to... I think you've got a few more details there.
Yeah. They've got more cans and can trample. Oh, I've just clicked somewhere else mid-reading. Yeah.
Where is it?
More cans than a tramp's trolley backed by a double Gorkanaut is the list there.
So it's still got a Morkanaut and then 2 Gorkanauts?
No, he's got 2 Gorkanauts, no
Right.
Morkanaut,
Right.
and 2 squads of killer cans.
So I wonder what the changes
Lots
are.
of 2 squads of the
It's James
shooty
in the
boys.
chat. I'm wondering what he's putting here.
It's a strong looking list, is what I would say.
Well,
There's a lot of heavy mech.
The Deathstorm Mega Shooter, is that the one with the 30 shots?
Yes.
That's going to absolutely tear that
Yes,
agents
I think
apart.
he is certainly equipped to deal with mass agent, especially at that open middle. However, those super elves
No,
are...
he has got the 3 killer cans still. He's got the 3 killer cans. What he did is
I was all 3 squads of the
but he's
killer
put
cans.
2 knobs in, which is what I advised him to do. And that makes this list horrible.
Oh, so you got Gorkanauts with knobs inside.
Yeah. And
I think that was the comment I put, that it's
Yeah.
the Gorkanauts plus the Killer Cane. So anyway, tough matchup, that one. Good game. It's mass infantry against mass mechs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll see how that one goes.
Lots and lots of infantry.
Okay.
Horrific. All right, next.
Pairing 3, and it is Bearded Steve has come out of the hat on what I think I described as
A double monolith cook.
yes, I did.
Yes.
the double monolith cuck list.
Yep.
Steve has returned to putting 2 monoliths into his list.
Yep.
Silent
legend.
King, couple Doomsday Arcs, just heavy shooting on what is now a very open map. So there's quite a lot of places those monoliths can jump around to. So I feel sorry for whoever Steve is playing.
Yeah. Big deployment zones. But again, kind of another hammer and anvil map after the last
Yes.
one as well,
Yeah.
isn't it? We've got a lot of those. I found that for this map pack, it always feels like you're playing on a kind of, the short edges towards each other a lot.
Yeah, Steve's got 2 spiders as well. So
6 will feel my pains.
if he actually uses them correctly, it's gonna
Ben will
play
be watching
well.
and judging.
I will certainly be watching because Steve is playing me. So I will certainly be watching where those spiders are going. Yes, I have not played Steve for a while. I think of the 3-in-1 list before stream, I did actually say to Josh Adam that the one list that I never like trying to deal with is heavy vehicles, especially when there's feel no pains all across the board. So yes, I look forward to that one, Steve. I do enjoy killing your monoliths. So
That's fine talk. Steve, I don't think you're going to have to shave your beard off. Not this round, anyway.
We'll see how it goes. Tough matchup. Okay, pairing 4, and this one for me is a really intriguing matchup. It is Babyface Reese with his double rhino, double drone.
Double bloat drone, double rhino, double war dog. Reese is already compensating for the one thing he throws away in deployment. Rhinos.
Yes, I remember now. Reese has bought 2 of every vehicle
Yeah.
because he knows one's going to die in deployment zone. Every turn 1 of each will die.
Okay.
So he's got an extra one now, so he doesn't lose both his rhinos. That's basically Reese's list.
Okay. Interesting.
Double vehicles.
Lots of fight first, I assume.
Interestingly, he is going to be fighting Mr. Jordan Davis.
Oh. What?
On his, I would say, heavy infantry
Yeah.
chaos list. It looks a bit different to what I think you played Josh with. There's lots of walks. I think there's 3 squads of Raptors, 2 Talons.
Yeah, mass legionary spam.
Yes, 5 squads of Legionaries, I think.
The comment here is only Matt has more infantry.
There we go.
Yep.
And that's a lot of infantry.
That is a lot of infantry. Interesting, because I wonder how those Jordan's list will go into Fight First Marines. If he has got a lot of Fight First Marines. I don't know if he's gone heavy.
I know that Reese has gone heavy on lots of dual vehicles. I think there's only 1 Plague Marine squad, so we'll see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, should be good. But I mean, that would be a good game, I think, to see how they go. Interesting one. Lots of infantry into lots of men. So again, we'll see. Right, on to pairing 5, and this will be Simon Payne on his Dark Angels. Now I know Simon actually has gone a little bit outside of the box here and isn't playing Dark Angels Gladius, which I think is good to see. Some variation. He is also still has 2 night blocks in the list, but I think he also has quite a lot of shooty as well.
He's got the Lion and a Land Raider in there.
There you go, Lion, Land Raider, and 2 squads at night. So you're going to struggle to shift him. Adam.
Yeah, I was going to say that's got my name all
Indeed
over
it has.
it.
So that will be a tough contest. I think lots of heavy infantry. Obviously, definitely knights. The line into Adam on his way.
Yeah, well, last time I fought Deathwing Knights, I fired 2 Land Fortresses into them, 4 Sagittars into them, and charged them and killed 1.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. It's
You
going to be
rocking the
interesting.
triple land fortress still?
I am rocking the triple Land Fortress. I've got my triple Berserkers in there, 2 squads of Terminators and some chassis stuff.
You got some tools.
Yeah. One of them's behind the army.
It'd be good to see how Berserkers go into Deathwing Knights, actually.
Yeah, it will be.
I think so.
Good game, that one. Okay, on to the next pairing, and it is James Larkin on his Chaos Space Marines. Now, I don't know if this was purely influenced by the stream, but James changed his list to is it Huron? Is that his name? After I think the heroics he performed for Nathan on the stream on Friday. James that's been a late addition to James's list, and he will be playing young Alex on his Necrons.
Oh, nice,
Okay.
interesting. And Alex has gone Catan, double Catan with infantry spam.
Yes, lots of Catans. I think he's a nice balanced list for Alex. Lots of scoring units, lots of MSU units, which on taking a hold I think is quite nice to have multiple units you can stick on objectives.
Looks like
It's-
Alex has had a lot of close games here. His points differential over the whole league is only -16, so it's very close. And he's that 3 draws, 1 loss.
Yeah.
So he'll be looking to try and get a nice win out of that.
Yeah, I think it's been great to see James has been back at club regularly the last few weeks. He's
Yeah,
been getting
good.
his counter space wins on the table.
It's nice to see James.
Nice game that I think Alex into James, nice
Yeah.
friendly one. Should be a good outcome there. Next up is Space Marines Jordan into Martin on his Necrons. So again, Jordan's, I think it's another Gurneyman list or Calgar list, one of the two. They
10
tend to have one or
intercessors,
two.
repulsors.
Yes, Simon's list. Sorry, not Simon. Jordan's list was an interesting one. 2 big squads of heavy intercessors, which I really love to see on the table.
love
Great as a squad of intercessors as well. Lots of really tough. Gravis Space Marines T6. What isn't to like about them?
Take on hold. It's not a bad mission for them either, to be honest with you. Good staging unit. Plonk them in the middle and dare someone to come dig you out, basically.
Exactly. I do think Martin does have a couple of Catans though, and lots of destroyers. Was that?
Yeah, double Catan, double Dumark, triple Destroyer. So yeah, that's
Okay, maybe don't
yeah,
don't put
lots
them
and
in
lots and
intercessors.
lots of shooting.
Yeah.
Lots of shooting. But yeah, 2 interesting, bit different lists. I like to see a bit of variety
Agreed.
in the lists as they come forward. Next up is Phil Roberts on his sisters, and this is the triple Exorcist
Exorcist,
list that is doing the rounds on BCP at the moment. It's pretty much the mainstay of WTC teams as well.
Horrible.
And it is absolutely horrible to play into.
How
2 Exorcists is not nice. 3 is almost unbearable in a map where they can probably kind of sit and shoot. So
Yeah, just disgustingly good.
yeah, they're very good at taking down elite infantry, and they will be playing a list of complete elite infantry in Alex Sodek.
Ooh, and it's into his custodes.
It will be into the custodes. Those Exorcists are great into custodes, so that's going to be a tough matchup for him.
That said, Alex has got the advantage if we look at the map here, and this is for everyone's benefit, not just for Alex's. I don't want to feel like I'm doing any favouritism here, but it's worth talking about the map quick here because that is an interesting one that really highlights the differences of the armies. There's 2 staging points across the centre here. They are very close to each other.
Yeah.
They're about 9 inches away, point to point, probably 12 when you go behind the wall. That's a very nice staging point for a combat army. So if you can get in there, you can turn the tables.
Alex does have,
As a shooting army, I
interestingly,
don't appreciate that.
No.
Alex has changed things up a bit and does also have a couple of dreadnoughts in there. So
He
he's
does.
got a Telemon heavy dreadnought, which I don't think I've seen on the table edition. So great to see that. And I'm sure he's got one either the Gladius or the Achilles dreadnought in there as well. So
Yeah. I would confirm that, but Google is not playing along with me.
Okay. So on to what I think I will call the mystery match of the round.
Okay.
It will be Harry on his Necrons.
Right.
He will be fighting Triss on his Eldar. And the reason I call it the mystery match is because we don't actually know if Triss's army will materialise on that. So Triss has been attempting to sell the army. I believe that sale has not gone through and the Eldar will be making an appearance. But I've also seen that it has the Eldar, the big Wraith Knight in it.
It does.
Now whether it will be in its wheelchair or whether it's had its legs repaired, we're unsure. But I'm really looking forward to seeing that on the table.
Yeah, cool.
I think that's going to do some real damage into Necrons. But Harry has got quite a solid list as well.
Well, you know, Triss is on 1 win, 3 losses. He's got 2 more matches. He could make it a win, 3 wins to 3 losses as he pushes.
It's a couple of close matches for him as well. I think Triss has had one of those interesting runs where he's had some good wins, tight losses, and a couple of big losses. And I think he's settling with his list now.
And Harry's another one who's got 2 draws, 2 losses, but very small differential. So he'll probably be looking for a win just to take him over the edge there. get him into that positive points differential as well.
No, absolutely. So it'd be a good game. I really want to see this Wraith Knight on the table. So I think Eros may have won this league, but I haven't seen it myself. So
not 3.
Well, no, we're not the start of 10th edition anymore. But it'd be good to see that. Right. So next pairing is Lee on his Black Templars. We'll be going into. Oh, this is an interesting game. Greg Roberts on World Eaters.
Scheiße, that is an interesting one.
Now, Lee has still managed. I think he's put something like 75 bodies into his
He has,
list,
yeah.
but it's certainly far away from the 100, 120 Crusader list we were seeing a few months ago. But I know Lee has certainly found room for.
Well, they seem quite evenly matched here. So, first of all, they're just 2 armies that want to run each other and smash each other in the face. That's interesting in itself. But, you know, they've both got 1 win, 3 losses. Both got very small differentials.
Yeah. Greg's had a pretty tough run as well. I think he's got one of the highest Legion scores in the league. The players he's gone into have generally gone on to win at least 2 games. So he's certainly had it. I think he's actually called his list just trying to win a game.
Yeah. Well, he's got 600 points of 8-bound in there, Angron and a Demon Priest.
Yes, there is a lot of 8-bat, and that, which we'll come to shortly, it seems to be a theme of this. Both our 8-bat, our World Eater players have gone crazy on the 8-bound this round. I think Mike's bought about 750 points of 8-bound. Greg's bought 600 points of 8-bound, and we haven't really seen them up until this point.
Yeah, both players looking at this score here, which is the, what's it called, the Berthaus, or what is it,
Bushholtz median.
Bushholtz median here. Just for those actually watching and they're looking at the table and wondering what the hell some of this means. You know, 5 is high. It means you've gone into some good opponents basically, and you come away bloodied.
Yeah, it's effectively the sum of your opponent's wins.
Yeah.
Minus the lowest and the highest. So the higher your median score, the more points your opponents have achieved. Very similar to the bonus systems we've used in previous leagues. So the tougher your run, the higher your median score is, and that's what we're actually using to dictate the position in the league. So it is a really fair approach.
And Lee isn't far behind. He's had some tough games as well.
No, absolutely. So that I mean, 2 combat armies. That'd be a great one. To see lots of bodies flying into each other. Obviously, Angron is there as well. Here we go. Okay, next up is our very own Barry on his Eldar. Barry's list from memory was lots and lots and lots of MSU units.
Yeah, 6 characters and an Avatar Arcane, a very nicely painted Avatar Arcane, may I say.
Yes, that was it. It's about 7 characters and then lots of little 5-man squads.
I'm currently 25th in the league, so somewhere in the middle for sure. 1 win, 2 losses, 1 draw. So maybe he can take it to 2 wins this time. Who's he going into?
Barry is going into Paul Murphy on Tau Empire.
Right next to each
They
other.
are literally neck and neck in the table.
The winner gets to push right up the table.
Yeah, I do. I mean, Paul's list is entirely battle suits, from what I remember.
Yeah.
And that map is very open. And Eldar do not like being shot. I mean, they don't like paper aeroplanes being thrown at them, let alone shooting.
Well, that'll be interesting.
So
a good challenge for both.
Yeah, be a lot of jumping around, I think, and a lot of death.
Yeah.
Which is what we like to hear about Eldar. Okay. Now this. This is a big pairing. So we've just been talking about Mike and his World Eaters, and he will be going into Fur on his Astra Militarian. Now, Fur has been quite kind this round, and he's adjusted his list, and he's not taken 3 of those horrible Quillen things, but he has taken 3 Rogal Dons. So I'm not sure what's worse.
Where are they? Here they are. That's 10th going into 12th place.
Yes, yeah, that is a. Both had a couple of tough fixtures. But what I would say, those World Eaters, lots of 8-bound, not the worst thing to go into tanks.
And like I said, there's some good staging points on this map.
Yeah.
There's not many places a guardsman can hide on.
No, and the movement obviously across the entire army is huge. And there's a big open all 3 objectives in the middle.
That staging point there is horrific, and that staging point there is horrific. There's just nowhere to hide. So that's got to be challenging.
It is a good game. I will say, not to show any favouritism, it's a game I'd love to see on stream. I think World Eaters into Furs Tanks would be an interesting one, but we'll obviously have a discussion about that a bit later. Next up is it's a Space Marine off. It's Jack and James versus Steve Davis. Now I believe they both have quite similar lists. Steve is on his Ultramarines. And Jack and James, I think they both may even have Calgar in their lists.
Normally,
Steve's got Rex, Lancer, Hellblasters, Eradicators, and Calgar. And Jack and James have Blue Salamanders make an appearance, Firestorm Assault with Aggressive Blob, and Girly Man.
This, and if Jack and James are watching, what sure they are. When I read their list, I had a happy tear in my eye, because Salamanders have been a little bit hard done this edition. I think they're one of those armies that the neutral likes. They're interesting to see, and they kind of killed off in 10th edition, didn't really have their own way. They are playing aggressors, flame gauntlets, they've gone for the Firestorm Assault detachment, hence I said it was kind of basically blue Salamanders. That would be really great to see.
It's got some
bit
tricks.
different, it's got some tricks. Rather than just seeing the standard Gladius that we tend to see at the moment for most.
And who doesn't want to see a Primarch on the table?
Yes.
Unless you play in board in action.
Fair point. They really do need to tighten those rules up.
They do.
People can really abuse them.
Okay. Next up is Josh on his Chaos Demons. And Josh has got, I remember, quite a varied demons list. He's not done a meta mat, for want of a better terminology. He's not gone 6 greater demons. He's taken a couple of unclean ones. Lots of little squads. I think Roticus was in there.
Currently 23rd with 2 wins and 2 losses, so straight down the middle.
Very solid performance. I think he must have a couple of Warlogs in the like normal. Just a good, I would say it's Chaos Demons, the way Demons players would like to play them. With a variety of different God units, different ones. Not the kind of, if you're going to take them to a tournament, you've got to play 6 or 7 greater demons.
And that's what I like to do that.
Good one to see. And he will be playing Ty on his Space Wolves.
And I didn't have to look far. He's 24th, one position
right
below.
next to each other. Ty, I think, had a couple of big Thundercav units as well. I'm pretty sure there was a Ballistas Dread.
He's got some heavy support in there.
Well, that's quite fortunate, because neither player really wants to get shot off down that middle lane, and neither player's probably got much shooting, to be honest with you. So that will be a big scrum in the middle. That'll be interesting for them too.
Right, so we've got 4 pairings left. Next up is Nathan.
Fresh from the stream on Friday.
Fresh from the stream, and Adam will correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's also decided to change his attachment to the entire army again.
He has. He's done a full rewrite. Legionary spam backed by heavy firepower. The note here is Professor Nathan's latest failed experiment.
That's harsh.
There we go.
Because he has had a very hard run.
There we go. He's had some tough matchups. I think Nathan, his own admission, has been enjoying having the opportunity in the league to change up the detachments, play some different units, have a bit of fun, rather than perhaps pick a list and run with it for 6 games. There's plenty of time to do that, and it's been good to see some variety. Was a great game on Friday. I think one of the best games we've seen of the league so far.
5.5 is one of the highest. If not
It
the
is.
highest.
I think it is. Other than
Joint highest,
than yourself, Josh. I think there's only 3 players that have had as tough a run in. Nathan's played Jordan. He's played Matt. Played yourself.
And his point differential is still
positive.
Yeah.
So who's he going into?
He is going into the 3rd and final Calgar list, Andy.
Oh, he's going to Andy.
Going into Andy.
Oh,
Where is he?
Now, and I think Andy made a couple of tweaks this time round.
He's got double Redemptor. Calgar is out with Fire Discipline, and he's got a big Eradicator block.
Obviously, that Fire Discipline Eradicator block took some pretty heavy nerfs in the last balance slate. I think Andy's actually has maybe cut a Redemptor. I think was he running 3 at one point?
I can't tell the difference.
I think he may have cut a Dreadnought, I'm not sure, but certainly when a pretty, I mean, Redemptors are the backbone. The Space Marines have always been, for their points, they're always generally a good unit. Got the aggressor, got the Eradicators, Calgar in there for the CP for Gladius.
Andy's going to find this a hard game because, like I mentioned, the staging points and Chaos do it better than anyone else. So it's going to be tough. He's going to have to figure out how to trade up.
Yeah.
The Dreadnoughts will mint through Legionaries. They do get -1 damage, but that's not going to save them against the Demon Hammers on those on those Chaos Lords. So yeah,
2 blobs of Inceptors. They're the nasty plasma death boys, aren't they?
I think the biggest tip for Andy there is just roll 6s on your armour saves, channel the inner immolator, and survive the Chaos Lord's hands. Done. Right, 3 to go. Next up, I feel like we've had a lot of golden banana fights this league.
I'm not familiar with that expression, but
Nick Mag on his Custodies into Simon Jones on his Custodies.
Yeah.
Of course, the golden bananas.
Oh,
I'm not
okay,
talking
coming
about
down the
a
stairs.
Saturday evening. This is Nick Mag versus Simon Jones. I think Nick may even have now played all of the Custodies players. I'm not quite sure, but it feels like we've had quite a few Custodies into Custodies matchups.
To be honest, I think that is the only fitting fate for a Custodies player.
What, to eternally just have to play into another 4-up army?
Yeah.
Probably fair.
not to make a judgment call on this one, to judge too hard, I should say, but he's been playing his Space Marines a lot lately, so I think he's sick to the back teeth playing his Custodian's neck at the moment. But he's 16th, whereas Simon Jones down here is 22nd. Again, Nick's had a harder run, but they're both evenly matched in terms of 2 wins, 2 losses. Both have very tight score differentials. Simon's only got -2 differential.
Just to quickly go to our notes on the list.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Is Nick's list is called the Warden's Day Out.
Right.
If we go down to Simon's list, the comment next to it is Nick's list.
Yeah.
It's the Warden's Day
is.
Out.
Both players have gone Warden heavy. I didn't take the time to properly look side by side, but as I looked at the list, I was like, where have I seen this one before? So I think they may both be playing almost identical lists into each other, which is going to be really, really interesting. That really is the battle of the 4-up-in-1s.
So if you move exactly the same on both sides on each of your turns,
You can blame the dice.
you just dice off.
Yeah, it's nice. Good idea. Just copy each other. Whoever goes second, do whatever the first person did. So that should be again another good one. 2 to go. Chris Hughes on his Chaos Space Marines. Chris has obviously it's a Vashtor list, so it is very Demon Engine heavy.
Yeah.
With the recent changes to Vashtor, that he can actually now benefit from the stratagems in the detachment that was made for him. Seemed a bit of an oversight at the start, if I'm honest. But good they fixed that.
Where is he on here? I'm trying to find
He
him
could do. I played Chris myself. It was a tough game, though. The Demon Engines can be very swingy. I think my highlight, and me and Chris do laugh about this still now, that he managed to do 12 wounds to his Land Raider himself with Dark Pacts. So it's one of those swingy ones. He's
performing
going to be
well
tough.
for his first
He is
league.
performing well, and he's going to be playing into Mr. Naismith. It's going to be Rich versus Chris.
Right.
Now,
evenly matched.
That's going to be interesting because of the changes that Rich has
yes,
made to
Rich
his
may
list.
have actually.
Well, he's got triple plague
What's he got?
bursts.
Oh, so that's not great for this.
No. That might struggle with his indirect blast against big machines.
Still lots of lethals in the army, though.
Yeah, I think Rich has changed it up again. Again, another player who's been taking the opportunity to try some different combinations. I've played a couple of times into his really horrible, heavy Death Shroud lists, which have been quite oppressive to play against. And I think he's still got a squad of Death Shroud this time, but has certainly gone for the 3 Plague Blast Crawlers, which, again, to the right matchup, can be deadly. Still can put out damage.
For sure.
Good armour saves, but
Let's not forget, Rich finished 4th in the local cup that we had recently. This is Chris's first league, but he's in the top half. I'd like to see where this goes. I'm really interested to see this.
it'd be a good game. Two Chaos armies going into each other.
Yeah,
Lots of vehicles on the table. See how that one goes. Vashtor does love smashing up tanks, so it'd be interesting to see whether he can even get to those mini blasts.
Yeah.
And then to round off the league draw, I'm sure they've worked this out by now, but it will be our third and final Eldar player in Eros. On his Eldar list.
There he is, 20th.
Yeah, Wraith unit, heavy MSU list.
Yeah, I think this had lots of one of each of the Wraiths in it: Wraith Lords, Wraith Knights, Wraith, all sorts, lots of the guys that can restore.
He just tends to run an Eldar suit.
Why? And he is playing into our very own Matt Hughes on his orcs.
Yeah, and the comment here is Gaz and Magor cannot get their knobs out in front of the boys.
There we go. So again, Matt has made a few changes there, but he does have a Gorkanaut, he does have Gaz for himself. Lots of boys, squad Storm boys, mega knobs.
And Matt's first league, and he's doing really well at 18th as well.
Yeah.
So
he has a couple of close games he's had as well. I think week 1 he lost by a point.
Yeah.
Which is devastating.
Yes, he's had some really close games, performed well. Orcs obviously have been in a bit of a swingy place this league. They started almost broken, and then got completely ruined by GW, and seem to have come back slightly. So
yeah, I don't think they ever got to benefit. We started the league just after the nerf, did we? I can't remember. I don't think they ever got to benefit from it. Even if they did, I don't think Matt was rocking that.
No, we started the league after they'd originally nerfed, I think, Green Tide. But there were still some very strong detachments there, which performed quite well. He's got a couple of trucks.
And some flash kits.
So I'll bring it up on the screen for people, so you can now see the draw. Round 5, you should be able to see that. Loud and clear. Oh, no, ruined it. There we go. There we go. So just to highlight that, we just seem to keep getting really good lineups.
Yeah, some really, really good games there. I think it's a proof again that this current system seems to be working very well. That the Swiss pairings type, we are seeing lots of matchups with people in similar brackets, similar ability levels. It's throwing up some really fun-looking games. Again, we will of course be looking for stream games.
Yeah,
so we'll certainly be looking into that.
Well, actually, mention it in the chat. Any suggestions? Maybe we could do like a crowd kind of, any of your suggestions ones you think would be really good. Shout out now. But we're going to look through them and pick what we think is going to be either closely matched or what will be pivotal for the league result.
Yeah, I think for me, we probably. I know you may not want to play it on stream, Josh, but I think for the league, we probably need to see Josh vs Josh on stream. I think that'd be a great game.
If purely just for the absolute madness during the commentary.
Yes, yeah. I mean, effectively, it's going to be potentially whoever wins that game is in a very strong position to take the league.
Yeah.
So it will be a great game at the top of the table there. Some really good matchups all the way down, though, especially on this open map. It's going to throw out some interesting results, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But let's take a look at this map and just do something a little bit different. And I was just thinking about it. What do you think the strategies are? Because obviously the point of this league is to skill everyone up, get everyone on equal footing, so at least then we're playing the same game. And I've mentioned it a couple of times about the staging points, about the choke points. It does look very open, and it is if you want to go sit in the middle. But actually, if you can block up a few of these lanes, so I don't know if is my mouse visible on the screen. There's actually one. Look how that's a 4-inch choke point, and then there's a 3-inch choke point there, and that's mirrored on both sides. That can shut down someone's army. Those 2 points there. Then they've got to come up the middle, and at which point I mentioned these staging points again. I'll probably do it one more time. You come out and you get them. So it's a very good. It's an interesting map because it's got a bit of everything. I like this map.
It is. The take and hold, I think it's got. I like this combination because the take and hold almost lures people into trying to sit on that middle objective to score points. But ultimately, from a tactics point of view, you can quite comfortably sit and score 10 each turn on this. Get your 40 on the board and seize the opportunity if there is one to try and get those extra 10 primary points. Or you can be brave and chuck your stuff out in the middle and try and get your opponent to contest on all three. So there's different ways of playing it, but should be interesting.
One thing I would like to highlight, just because it's the first thing that sticks out to me with the army I'm playing, is you are struggling with those choke points with vehicles to get them out of your own deployment, it is very easy to block yourself in your own deployment. Because I'm going to try this. You've got this gap in the middle here, but and you want to stage your vehicles.
Let me see if this is working.
You want to right. You want to stage your vehicles behind this cover here and this cover here, so they're not getting shot off the table first turn. But then you've got to come all the way around to either go through the middle, or if someone's blocked up those choke points at the top, you really struggle.
I think seeing that again, especially into quite a few people were playing quite heavy vehicle lists this mission.
I love going to vehicle lists on this.
Yeah, if you look at some of the, and I would, let's take Matt's Agents for example. It's an attachment that lets you just pick 3 units and infiltrate them. Sticking 30 subjugators with 4 Opinions and shields all across the board is going to cause sheer mayhem for somebody relying on mechs and tanks. So, and similar to some of the Chaos armies that have got lots of infiltration moves, scout moves.
It ain't going to be pretty.
It's going to be a fun.
I played into
game.
this vehicle with my NIDs at WTC against some vehicle lists, and I just shut it down. Just completely shut it down. I didn't go anywhere near the middle. I just went around the outside, dug them out.
Yeah.
You can hold this objective, the pink objectives here, through the wall, which helps because it's closest to your deployment. And you can also stage a vehicle in there and can shoot out as well.
And I think for our World Eater players especially, that is only there's effectively a 20-inch gap. This is the closest deployment, corner to corner, on tipping point, that there is effectively most armies have access to a turn 1 charge. So especially if you leave your units on the line there. So if you're feeling brave and you get that first turn, there is some potential for some real damage output.
If you thought I was aggressive on stream against Josh, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I think that's great, and actually I like this little addition we've added to the end of the video where we just talk a bit about the strategy and the map, and maybe we can make that a regular feature going forward. Actually,
absolutely. So just one comment I do have about the game weeks. So for those of you who have read the player pack multiple times, which I'm sure is all of you, you'll be aware that as we have the running up to Christmas, we only have a certain amount of weeks left before the end of the year and the intention to close the league. At the moment, this round is set for 3 weeks, and the final round is set for 2 weeks to take us up to Christmas.
Yeah.
What I would encourage everybody to do, if this round we have the opportunity to get all the games played in the first 2 weeks, then we'll look at bringing it forward and using the 3-week period over the Christmas period for round 6, just to take that pressure off. So just I appreciate people have organised schedules and things, so that's not possible, fine, but I would encourage you to try and play your games early. Last round we actually had a couple of fixtures fall away on the last night of the round due to sickness, lots of sniffles this time of year. Play your games early.
So that's a good rule. For actually, I'm going to go one step further. Try and get it done in the next 2 weeks, and then if you can't, you've got a 3rd week, and we'll all judge you because we would have liked to finish that one. But no, just it's a good rule of thumb. Try and get it done in the first 2 weeks. That's all I'll say. Yeah, I think that's good. That's good from us. And do we want to talk about the stream?
Yes, a couple of final elements, and this is really around what's been great about the growth of the stream over the past few weeks, and also I think exposure to more structured gameplay for a lot of our newer players in the league. We've had a couple of common questions keep coming up. One of those questions is specifically about how you end the game, and what we mean by that is we are seeing a lot of games not quite reach the finish within that 3-hour period. To be clear, that's a skill on its own. To be able to play a competitive, busy game of Warhammer in 3 hours it is tough, and we're having lots of situations now where people just aren't getting to the end. What we want to do, we will release a bit more of a clear, not a statement as such, but some guidance as part of the map and the fixtures this week, just to clarify that the way we want to approach this is similar to if you played one of the gauntlets or one of the RTTs recently, that effectively you shouldn't be starting a new battle round if you've got less than 10 minutes left of the game clock. So if you're playing to that 3-hour rule and you've only got 10 minutes left, don't go on to turn 5, don't go on to turn 4, end the game so it's fair, you have the opportunity, and then talk out a maximum of 1 round. And I think
Yeah,
That's what we want to be clear on.
ideally with somebody else present, if it's
Yeah.
possible, because you get a situation, you know, we've all done it, we're rushing, you move something, and then they go, oh, I'd score here and here, and then someone's like, oh, well, I would have moved here to counter it. Well, it's all he said, she said at that point. You don't know what the role's going to be. That's difficult enough with one turn to go. If you're then trying to project that forward 2 turns, you're just talking fantasy.
Yeah. Look at our last 2 stream games. We watched Jordan somehow roll 1s and 2s on 30 dice and do no damage, and we saw Matt roll 5s and 6s and every armor save and somehow survive. So they're great examples of where if they'd been talked out, you absolutely would have gone with a different outcome.
Exactly.
And over 2 turns, it makes the game unfair. So generally, the guidance for the league and the process we want to follow is maximum talk out 1 round, and it's a round that you've both had the same play time. So if you get to round 3 and you've got 10 minutes left of your 3-hour clock, end the game, talk out round 4, your scores end there. That's what we'd like to follow as a guidance, and it's what we're going to be applying on the stream as well.
Good. That's it then. So, without any more delay, I think we'll end it there. So what I'll do is I'll post on the website as usual, put the link into the WhatsApp, into the Discord. You'll be able to find the fixtures, the link for the lists, the map, the mission, and also the updated comments on how to finish games in a sportsmanlike manner. I want to thank Ben and Adam as usual. It's been fantastic. Thank you for watching.